Hi guys, in this video I will be doing some work on my ICS S3 Gearbox, which I fitted the max trigger in to give me a bit more speed, and also change the wiring. As you can see, I had to do a little repair, and we'll be fitting a new trigger from ICS that is inside the PDW. Also the ambidextrous mag release and the new wiring harness for it. So I'll be back in 2 seconds and then we'll get into it. So let's start by undoing the screws and taking the gearbox apart. 4 screws on it. When you undo this screw and you split your gearbox, just be careful because there's a little spring on here which you do not want to lose. If you're new at Tekken, what I suggest is, as you go along, take pictures of each stage, so when you go to put it back, you've got references of where everything goes. Also, because it's ambidextrous, it has a gear here and here, so just use some pliers, just split it like so. Like I said, when opening it, be careful of this spring, little spring, and also your trigger and your safety switch will be under tension as well. Also, when you lift, just be careful you don't lose the shims. So at this stage, take a picture, you remember where everything is, undo the screws, that releases that. Take off your gear that comes straight off your motor. If it also helps, just place your gears where they go inside your gearbox so you don't lose them. Carefully remove the trigger as it will be under some tension. So hopefully by replacing this, you'll give me that sharp response that I want. Take your sector gear out, place that in on the other half of the gearbox so you don't lose where it is, and if also take the shim off that was there, just so you got reference to where, you know, when you put it back, where it goes. So took the trigger out. There is a tension spring with it, so place that down, and now we can remove the wiring. So there's 2 little screws, undo them, push them out, pull the wiring out. Here there's a white bit and there's a little catch underneath, like so, and it's out. Also remember your screws. So this is the wiring harness, and also we will need this top clip. So on it there's a couple of tabs that you can just unpop. On the other side there's another one, 2 tabs there. If you undo them, that'll then slide out. So yeah, we will be replacing this item. A lovely new ICS. This isn't, I will just say, this isn't a sponsor. I've bought these out of my own money, so there's no sponsorships or nothing. So this is the wiring harness for the S3 Gearbox, which I can get into it. Part number is MA-397. These are from Fire Support. Don't just think, you know, go on there and you see the wiring harness, go, oh, that's the one I want, because I believe there is a different wiring harness for the S3 version 2 gearbox. So if you can see on there's 2 holes, one there and one there. Just line them up with your 2 holes on your cover. So sit the back in and then pop one side on. I will need to use my screwdriver. There you go, that's on, in, on, done. They need to be folded back. If you want a reference, just use your old wiring harness of how they go, sort of thing. I'm not going to lie, this is fiddly, especially with me trying to keep it all in camera. Red goes in first, get it tucked right in, then the black, so on it it'll be black, red, black. So you want to get the black tucked in first, then the first black, which is this one, and then this one. Get your chip all put in, put your screws in just to get it so it's in, so you can work your wiring wrap it around. So your red doesn't come out at this point, your red goes through the gearbox, into here, push your black down, push it down nice and snug, nice and tight, and then your third black, which is your, goes straight to your motor, follow the contours. So there we have the gearbox in. You need to make sure that the wiring isn't going to interfere with your gears on your motor. Right, so we're back, I've got it in. I just had to give this a bit, the wires in here, just a bit of a twist to get them to run through. So now we're ready to put the gears back in. So we'll put the sector gear back in, and we'll put the motor gear back in. There we go. That's that done. Wiring is done, happy. Next bit, trigger. This one come from unit 13. This model is for the PDW 9, and this part is MA 456. We need a spring. If you look, there's a little tab on it. The tab goes into the little hole right there, just there. So put the tab in, like so. This part needs to go into here, and this sits on the back here. Just undo, it will help get it in. However, it is a pain in the bum. If it helps, remove this. That's your safety switch. Select your safety switch for your trigger. Try to push it down and hold it with your finger. Then this, you can do it with your finger. Slides over like so. Gives you the tension. And there we have it. That's the trigger and safety done. Hold everything down. Now, I hold this up to do this, to allow me to see what goes where. While you're looking around, just visually check everything. Everything seems to be in place. Just run everything. It's now a case of putting the screws back in. I know what most of you are probably saying, oh wait, you've got the mag part. It moves when the mag gets put in. Yes, I know. But I'll show you how I do it. Put some of the screws back in, not tight, just loosely. Put the spring in, partially open that enough so this slides in. Sit it down, tighten everything up. Apart from this one, tighten it all up. This spring here needs to be curled under and down. And then how I get this to be how I want it, tighten it up. It's not moving. All you do is just unloosen it, and then once it releases, just give it a small turn to give it that bit of looseness. Now it's time to test it. A lovely new motor. Make sure it's nice and tight. So that's that. Go get a battery and then we should test it. So here's the battery. Fuse, put the fuse in. We've got lights. That's a good sign. Put the plate on. If you have a working short stroke gearbox. Alright, so the final part of the video, like I said, is the ambidextrous part of the mag release. I put the gearbox into the bottom layer receiver. So that's the part. Normal side of the mag release goes in first, in this side, like so. Spring then goes on there, then goes on there. Screw then goes through. Get yourself a screwdriver, Phillip head, screw it in. And there we have nearly one mag release done. And that is that done. So all done. So thank you for watching the video. Hope you like and subscribe. See you again in the next video. Thank you.